Greetings for the day, my dear students. This is Dimple Arora, PGTCS, currently working at Kendriya Vidyalaya, Pragati Vihar. Topic for the day is conditional statements in Python. Let's begin. We'll start this session with discussion about selection statements in general, followed by simple if else, if elif, and nested if statements. I hope you will all enjoy this session and be able to develop small programs effortlessly. What do you mean by selection? People make decisions on a daily basis. What should I have for lunch? What should I do this weekend? Every time you make a decision, you base it on some criteria. For example, you might decide what to have for lunch based on your mood at that time, or whether you are on some kind of diet. After making this decision, you act on it. Thus, making decision is a two-step process. First, deciding what to do based on criteria, and secondly, taking an action. In a procedurally written code or in a sequential program, the computer usually executes instructions in the order that they appear. However, this is not always the case. One of the ways in which programmers can change the flow of control is the use of selection control statements. Selection statements allows a program to choose when to execute certain instructions. For example, program might choose how to proceed on the basis of the user's input. As we'll be able to see, such statements makes a program more versatile. In Python, the selection statements are also known as decision-making statements or branching statements. The selection statements are used to select a part of the program to be executed based on a condition. Flow of control can be altered using if else, if else. Decision depends on value of a Boolean expression or a condition. We need to check for condition and take the action accordingly. This is what we mean by selection. Let us understand the selection process with this example. This example shows a small simulation for a calculator in which we'll be using two numbers. We have to input two numbers, number 1 and number 2, and the user is going to enter the mathematical operation he would like to operate on those two numbers. Like, he has to give plus as input for addition, minus for subtraction, star for multiplication, and slash for division. Now, if the user submits plus as operation, then the addition is performed. When the user gives minus as operator, the subtraction is performed. On selection of star, the product is calculated, and when slash is chosen, the numbers are divided and the result is given. But if the users try to give any other symbol, he or she will get a message that this operator is an invalid operator. So let's run it and you will better understand it. You can see it is displaying enter the math operation you would like to complete. Let me select plus, and then it asks me to enter the first number. I have taken 6. It is asking me to give the second number. I have supplied the second number also, and you can see the result. The addition of 6 and 7 are performed, which as the first and the second number I have entered, and the result 13 after addition is shown. Let's move on to the first of the conditional statement, the simple if statement. As shown in the flow chart, you can see that when we start, we encountered a test expression. If this test expression evaluates to true, you can see over here, then the statement is executed. If the test expression evaluates to false, then the statement is skipped. This statement will not execute when this test expression evaluates to false. Note that the test expression must evaluate to true or false. Now the syntax of the simple if statement. You have to write if followed by the test expression, then colon. These colon are mandatory. Then the statements which needs to be executed when the text expression evaluates to true. But you can see here these statements are written little indented. I'll tell you about the indentation process in the due course. Let us now see the example. Let me have one number which is inputted by the user. A number is entered by the user. Let me name it num1. Now on the same lines I have entered another number and let me name it as num2. You can see this, I have taken another number. Num2 is the name. And now I need to decide which one is smaller out of these two numbers. Let me take a variable small and let me say small is num1. Now for decision making purpose, you must enclose these codes, otherwise you will get an error. Now decision making statement, if num1 num2 is smaller than num1, we have already assigned value of num1 to small. Now you can say that small is the num1, we assume that. Now when we compare these two, num1 and num2, we get to know that actually which is the smaller one. So you have to put a colon over here and automatically the control will come little indented. The cursor you can see is appearing after some indent, and here I will say small is equal to num2, as I came to know that the num2 is the smaller one. So I'll print a message, print smaller number is whatever value stored in the small. So that will be displayed. Let me save this. Maybe some name I have given, and execution begins. When I execute it, it is asking for a number. I am saying 45, then 33. Smaller number is 33. So whatever number is smaller, that must be displayed. I'll run it again. Now you can see earlier I have given the first number as the smaller one, 45, 33. Now I'll intentionally give a small number, say 12, and then I'll give say 52. So it is showing 12. So it doesn't matter which, either you are giving num1 as a larger number or the num2 as a larger number. So it will check appropriately and display the smaller of the two numbers. So num1 entered, num2 entered. We'll assume that small is the smallest number among the two, and then we'll check for this. We'll compare these two numbers, num1 and num2, and this is the simple if statement, which this if is this keyword. This criteria is num2 less than num1. If it holds true, then this value of the small will get changed from num1 to num2. Otherwise, it skips this if part. This small is equal to num2 is part or the body of the if statement. And finally, we get the smallest among the two numbers. Moving ahead, let's start with this if-else statement. As per this flowchart, in an if-else statement, we encounter a condition, and this condition, if evaluates to true, the code inside the if body gets executed, but if it evaluates to false, the code inside the else body will get executed. We use if-else statements when we want to choose between two alternatives. One, if the condition holds true, the first alternative or the first statement gets executed as per the syntax, and if its condition holds false, the statement 2 get executed. You may have a single statement, or instead you can have, instead of this one, you can have statement S1, statement S2, statement S3. 3 statements in body of if, and further instead of S2 you may have S4, S5. So you may have multiple statements in an if-else block. In if block you may have one or more statements. In else block also you may have one or more statements. Now let's understand with this example. Look at this example, the same example. We have two numbers A and B. We want to find which one is smaller one. In the previous example, we have used the third variable, small. But in this example, we are not using the third variable. Instead, we are comparing the directly the value of A and B. If A less than B evaluates to true, a message is printed, smallest number is A. Otherwise, if its value is to false, the else part will execute it and it will show the smallest number is B. Let me show you by executing it. I have entered a number 25 and a number 36. It is giving smallest number is 25. Let me show you one more example. You can see this example is demonstrating if the number entered by the user, if this number x entered by the user is even, then the square of the number gets printed. Otherwise, the cube of the number gets printed. So, to check whether a number is even or odd, what we do? We divide the number with 2. When we divide the number with 2, if the remainder is 0, we get the remainder as 0. That means this is an even number. And if an even number, the square of the even number is printed, and if the number is odd, the cube of the odd number is printed. Let me show you by executing it. Enter the number. I have entered 3. So it is showing the cube of the number 3, which is 27. Let me execute once again, and this time I'll give some even number, and you can see the output is 36, which is square of the even number. So here we have two alternative paths. Either the number is even or the number is odd. So if the number is even, then we have to take one action, but when it is odd, we have to take another action. I hope it's clear how the if-else works.